Hello everyone, this is video 4 in my beginner copywriting series. So the past videos I've gone over the definitions and basic information of copywriting. The other video I went over the strengths of the necessity of being specific with your copy and with who you are targeting your audience towards. The last video we went over yesterday was understanding your brand and your product. And now that brings us to the fourth video, which is going to be identifying your customer. So before getting into this, I know some people will say my product is for everyone, my service is for everyone. I mentioned in my second video the necessity of being very specific here. So this video is designed to narrow down who you want to actually market towards, who you want to advertise towards. Even if you think your product is for everyone, most likely it's designed for a very specific customer. So in yesterday's video, one of the questions I asked was, who is your audience? In other words, I think the actual exact question was, describe a typical customer. And so I want you to go back into that video first and look at what you wrote. What I covered yesterday was making sure that you covered things like education and income, age, industry role, pain points, things like that. So go back to that question first and basically review it. You may need to get a bit more specific as well. So if you find that your information is a bit general, go back through and right now before going to this video and just revise it and sort of narrow down to a more specific answer for each one. Now, once you've done that, once you're able to look at that question and get those basic answers down, this video is going to be going a bit further. In this one, I want you to go over, and I'm going to list 6 things here really quick. I want you to go over the person's name, their behaviors, their problem that you are going to solve, their demographics, their needs and goals, and where you can find them. All right, I'm going to throw these questions up on the screen here in just a moment. Okay, so you see the questions up here. You want to pause the video now and just go through and answer each question. What you're doing in the exercise is thinking up of a single person. So you're not using this to think up of like a general demographic or a general population, but one very specific person. Requires a little bit of imagination, but think of one single person that is your ideal customer, who your product or service is guaranteed to be tailored towards, and then answer these questions. Again, a little bit of imagination will be very helpful, as well as being very specific with your responses. All right, so if you are done answering these questions, you'll want to put that paper aside for the moment. And what we're going to do in the video tomorrow is we're going to start comparing both the response you did yesterday describing your brand and your product and or service, and today's video responses on who your ideal customer is. And we're going to start pairing those to kind of find out basically how we're going to tailor the copy to these individuals. In the meantime, if you've gone through and you've looked at both responses from today and from yesterday, and perhaps you think that maybe some of your responses are a bit vague, I will encourage you again before going forward with tomorrow's video to go back through and try 1 or 2 more passes at making your responses a bit more specific. I cannot emphasize enough the idea of specificity here, as the next steps, the difficulty with the next few videos is most likely going to be correlated to how specific your responses have been. If your responses have been very broad, the next few videos here might be a bit more challenging. If they have been very specific and very on point, I think you'll find that creating copy for these individuals will be a bit simpler. So good luck, and I will see you in the next video.